Sex was a taboo topic. The only instruction I got in church about sex is don't have it until you're married. That's it. Well, that's not very extensive. And what happens when you've already done it? And what happens when you were exposed to something at a young age that you never thought you would have been exposed to? And what happens when you go to locker rooms and over to your friend's house and they're talking about things that your parents don't even know you know about? What happens when you're faced with the awkward position of prom night? See, because if the church doesn't talk about these things, then we leave it open for the world to define. Because John tells us that truth is the only thing that can really set us free. And the statistics that are out here right now when it comes to the topic of sex are scary. What does God say about these things? The first thing that I want you to understand, the title of my message tonight is Lay with Fire. Because when you lay down to have sex, you're laying with fire. And what you don't understand is if you don't know what it was meant for, when it was meant for, and what you're supposed to do with it, it will burn you. And many people are in relationships with charred people. Many people are in relationships with people who are burnt up. Do you understand what I'm saying? That, like, they've been in so many things and they played with fire and they realized that they weren't in the place to be in a relationship like that. They did not have God's blessing. They didn't know what they were doing. And so they go through life from person to person to person to person to person, and they get burned and burned and burned and burned. And then they try to present themselves as something that's spotless, but it has a bunch of singes and broken pieces